baby gorgeous. Welcome to Bravo and Blaze, where we're going to get lit off all the latest going on in the Bravo TV world. This is a safe and uncensored space to discuss our love for everything pop culture and 420 related. So grab your can of goodies and let's get lit. Happy post Vanderpump Rules Day, but more importantly, happy 100th episode to us. We did it. Welcome to Bravo and Blaze with Jenny Blaze. Like I said, can you believe this is the 100th episode? We just started last year. I've done a lot of solo shows, but I've also done a lot of collabs and interviews with various people, and it's just been quite the journey. And you may have even noticed that I have a new chair. It's actually not new, I've had it, but I was so sick of my squeaky chair that I just brought this in from another room. So I'm in search of a new chair, if anyone knows of any good ones, but thank you for being here. Today we are catching up on all things Scandoval. As you know, people are angry on both sides, I have to say. But I just want everyone to remind everyone that this show is still airing and it's still unraveling. The story is still being shown to us week by week. But in addition to that, we have our characters of this story and this whole thing who are real people, and they are also doing things online, on social media. They have lives. Plus there's like blinds that come out from the actual people. Like we've seen Sandoval call TMZ and stuff, like cringe. But yeah, it just feels foolish to not be completely focused on Scandoval right now. We are witnessing and experiencing this. It's almost like an interactive type of entertainment, and it's just unfolding before our eyes like we're in it. Is this meta? Is this what meta is? Or like Inception maybe? But whatever. For today's show, let me get my cute little slide up here. Today, I'm going to share my phone. The screen of my phone. I'm going to go through my Instagram stories because that's where I've been documenting everything. And they're all still stored. From the very beginning of Scandoval, I started saving all of my stories into my story highlights on my Instagram account. So go check that out if you need to get caught up, because there's so much. I don't have time for these games. My husband at one point, like if you start looking through the old stories, I tweeted, I was like, my husband just walked in and said, why can't Shayna work while Brandy is at Lisa's party? And I was like, no, we're not doing this. Like, you don't get to just come in and ask these basic questions, okay? Like, you need to catch up. So, yeah, we're going to go through all of the stories from the last week, since last week's show. This is just a long, ongoing, to be continued. Even after I get done with this, I have more content to go catch up on. But after we go through those updates, then we'll go through the never before scenes that were released last night from last week's episode. And then we'll go through, I took a ton of screenshots during like rewatching the show this morning, and I'm going to share those as we walk through, like the recap. And then last night we had DJ James Kennedy on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. And I just love James so much. Watch What Happens Live was a little bit much, but we'll get to that. And before I continue, I just want to make sure to remind you all to subscribe, turn on your notifications so you can be reminded to join in on the interactive chat and see all the wonderful visuals for today's episode. Might get this cute little slide. However, if you are a podcast listener, don't worry because all episodes are available on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. Subscribing, reviewing, sharing, liking, and or leaving a 5-star rating is incredibly appreciated and helps this show to continue to grow. Also, don't forget our social media handle is at Bravo and Blaze. Mostly on Instagram, that's where I'm most active, and Twitter. But you can also find Bravo and Blaze on TikTok, obviously YouTube, almost all platforms. But I got in trouble this week. I'm like in detention from Instagram and YouTube. Oopsies. But no fear, I have many other forms of communication to make sure I speak to you all. Because I got to talk about this. This is crazy. And I just want to give a reminder and my normal disclaimer that this is for entertainment purposes only. This is not your source for facts or world news. I am documenting my emotional journey. Narcissism is part of my brand. And this is how I try to cope with it in a healthy way, is by watching this show that I know everyone else is watching. And I have feelings. I feel a certain way. And like James Kennedy said last night, when you do something outrageous, expect people to be outraged. And yes, but by all means, this is never a vehicle for bullying or attacking people. There's a line. And respectfully, like, I'm giving my opinions. Yeah, I might say, like, Tom Sandoval sucks right now. That doesn't mean that I think he should be canceled. That doesn't mean I'm going to go attack him and, like, tag him. I don't go seeking out to be angry at people, but I am angry at what we're watching. And if he was in front of my face, I would be polite as possible if I met him. Well, I have met him before, but if we were to see each other again, I'd be like, hello. And I mean, I tried to be civil, but I'm sure like the topic would come up at some point, and then I would just voice my issues or concerns if he asks. If not, then you just take a deep breath. Maybe smoke a little bit. But yeah, so this is not by any means an avenue or vehicle for bullying, physically attacking, trying to ruin people's lives, sending death threats. All of that is completely crossing the line. We're just here to unpack what we're witnessing and try to heal together, because this is triggering and disturbing in so many different ways. One of my other true loves is true crime, and I just feel like there are so many similarities in the level of disturbance of like people's psyche, and like throwing like the sociological aspect. And don't forget, this is like anthropology. Reality TV is anthropology. I said it. But also, as you know, BravoandBlaze.com has all sorts of fun Bravo-inspired merch and products from all your favorite shows. Actually, I'm wearing my Team Ariana cropped sweatshirt. I'm not sweating like a beast right now. I am a little bit, but I am a sweaty bee. I might have to take this off at some point, but that's why I got this fan, too. Anyways, Also, this Grandfather MFer mug, this is from a different show, but if you know what show it is, drop it in the comments because I feel like this mug has created Bravo magic, if you know what I mean. Because it says Grandfather MFer. She left. She's coming back. Hello, Mary Cosby. I don't even want to talk about her story because before that show even started, I Googled her name. Even James Kennedy was saying something along the lines of like, Raquel, the influencer, doesn't know how to Google and see if a man's married. Look, I didn't even type in his name and it popped up, boom, he's married. There you go. I don't even know how I got down this road, but yeah, Mary Cosby, she is coming back. I Googled her name, and before the show even started, I would like shut my laptop because I was like, this is scary. Anyways, maybe I'll focus on that once Scandoval is over. But also from BravoandBlaze.com, don't forget to get your Scandoval notebook, spiral notebook. This actually it's not fully lined. It's like graph type of paper. Do you see that? Can you see that? Which I enjoy for note taking because I find notes to be very boring unless you like zhuzh them up a little bit. And so when I have like this kind of paper, it feels like I should probably like do a cool one. Mine aren't like that exciting, but I try to keep them neat. Except for that part that I crossed out. Anyways, okay. Moving on. That's the merch. Also, don't forget, I have a Scandoval Survival Kit on my Amazon store, and I've been collecting things throughout Scandoval that have been very helpful to me in coping with all of this. I even, somebody pointed out like a juicer that Schwartz was using in this newest episode. So I actually put that up on my shop. Like, you're welcome. Go check it out. Also on Patreon, today's the 100th episode of Bravo and Blaze, but today was also the first pre-show live stream on Patreon in the bonus Scandoval content tier. Make sure you go sign up because that's where we have the pre-show live, but then also I have more deep dives on like just each episode. I have episode 2 coming up. And then also, if you're more curious about behind the scenes, how to create an online brand, where to get started, I'm sharing all the behind the scenes of Bravo and Blaze so that you can start your own personal brand. We have that level on Patreon, but also I am I should stop saying former because I am a consultant. I am a business consultant and I've worked with the best consulting firms in the world. I ran the 3rd largest global alliance at my last firm and was managing a 9-figure business that I helped scale from an 8-figure business in less than 4 years. Actually, I think we went from 8 to 9. I mean, that jump wasn't that big of a deal from the 8 to 9 figure, but then we like doubled that within that 4 years. So if you have interest in, if you have any business consulting needs, feel free to reach out to me directly through email. That's fine. We can figure out if we can work together or not. All right, I'm going to move on. Let's do this. We're here for Vanderpump Rules. It's Scandoval time. Shoot, I kind of have to pee already. Sorry, TMI. Okay. I am currently going to my stories archive, and I'm opening up April 20th. For those of you on YouTube, you should be able to see my screen. I wanted to start on this one. Okay, so we get Bravo is like on top of it. They're showing the preview for the next episode like immediately now, and it's stressful for me because I'm like, I am still trying to watch this other stuff. So, okay, this is what I want to point out. Remember Tom Sandoval was on TMZ in the airport, and he was like, oh, people need to chill out. First of all, don't act like we don't know that you knew you were about to be recorded in some way, shape, or form, whether you got paid for it or they told you ahead of time. Like, we know this, okay? But he says in that, he's like, oh, the squad of it all, implying like, I think, like Lala. He even named Peter Madrigal and Dana. He said their names on camera with the latest TMZ, which we'll get to. But I just thought it was interesting because I'm like, on last week's episode, they showed how Tom and Ariana were like supporting Raquel doing her Miss California pageant or whatever. And I went back to look. He does this video where he's like, Raquel did the power stance, Raquel. And you hear Ariana like giggling in the background. They're like, hi. Look at this t-shirt that he's wearing. It says Pageant Squad. Basic. I can't. Oh, look. I'm wearing my Team Ariana sweatshirt again. Shout out to Frankie Smoke. Oh, man, I should be wearing her necklace right now. A 420 necklace. Love her. Okay. Oh, Honda Civic selfie on Instagram and probably TikTok, I'm guessing, is hilarious with their video edits. Go check them out. Okay, I think Tom Sandoval had something to do with this, but I was just remembering how Tom Sandoval said like B+ is good or whatever, and so I tweeted, I said, Sandoval thinks a B+ is good. My Korean mother would throat punch him so hard. And I did Blackpink Shutdown. It's like, when you pull up, you know it's a shutdown. And like I had the music synced up so that when she kimchi slapped him, it did it with the beat. It was so good. But I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know why I loved my own tweet so much. I was like, I'm going to make it a post. And I don't do that all the time, but like I thought this one was funny, so I put that up. And because I'm not condoning violence here, I'm just saying that's what would happen if I said B+ is good to my mother. And she happens to be Korean, and that's important because it's part of our culture. So if you're hating on this tweet, you may be the R word. Racist. Just kidding. Okay. Watch. I'm going to get canceled now. Okay. Hi Her Story on Instagram posted, I don't know who needs to hear this, but it's okay if your 420 looks like this. And I think it's Keanu Reeves smoking and like laying on a porch or something. I don't know if it's really Keanu Reeves, but I felt this so hard because I feel like because I'm Bravo and Blaze, people think that I'm like going to do something really huge, but like literally I have 4 kids and I have so much to do. I can't do that much, and I would love to do something crazy, but there's only one Jenny here. Binging Bravo, so funny. Ali to Sandoval at the Abbey. What are you doing here without Ariana? It's a Sonia Morgan gif. I love that. I'm going to have to like probably skip through some stuff. So Countess Kush, just want to give a shout out. Check out the blog. Real Stoned Housewives. Ooh, so there's this picture of Ariana from her Bloomingdale's ad. She looks so good. The Real Stoned Housewives. Nice. Thank God. Thank God Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip is over because Giselle is getting on my nerves. And I'm glad that Candace said you could take the bottle and put it in your booty hole and fly home because that was obnoxious. Also, they were smoking weed on the Ultimate Girls Trip. It was Whitney and Candace. And yes, we need more of that. And I'm glad that Bravo is starting to show more. And I guess they also showed more weed smoking on Real Housewives of New Jersey, which I'm going to get to. I have it on pause right now. Ever since I interviewed Margaret Josephs, that triggered a attack on me that led to somebody like defaming me and my child, my minor child. So I have to take necessary action for that. And also, I put Jersey on pause for that. Sorry, one person ruined it for the rest of you, but I will get to Jersey because I think it is important. I'm just going to focus on Scandoval till Vanderpump Rules is over and then pick up with Jersey. And then hopefully be done with that in time for BravoCon. Anyways, okay. So this one, somebody said on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip that, I think it was Marisol. She's like, I get the munchies. Like, that's why I don't smoke weed or whatever. And I just wanted to give a PSA. Munchies do happen, but it's not a side effect for all types of cannabis because there's different strains. And also it has different impacts and different side effects on each individual. So for me, I was microdosing, meaning like smoke a little and like continue what I was doing, like really just don't get really lit. But I lost over 70 pounds while I was microdosing. So I want to say that's a myth that you gain weight when you smoke weed, but it depends. Like you could, but you also, it doesn't mean you are going to. So I just wanted to clear that up because I don't want people to think that. Anyways, also at one point, Alexia, who I have always loved, but I don't know, lately she's been questionable her last seasons. But she said like to Whitney, how do you do all these things when you're a mother and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, like rolling my eyes. And so I just tweeted this. Get ready for this. I talk to my children about my cannabis consumption. I educate them on the science of the plant, the medicinal benefits, my personal consumption, the laws, but also, most importantly, I educate them on the origin of prohibition and how it stems from racism. And I wrote, next question, Alexia. I wish I capitalized racism. But, oh my gosh, I kind of have to pee already. So, all right, I better keep it moving. For a minute, I was like heated about what I saw on Ultimate Girls Trip and thought I might have been snapped out of Scandoval, but only for a second. Heather Gay. I really wanted a Heather Gay takedown on Ultimate Girls Trip, but didn't really happen. So this is interesting. Wait, is this? We watched this this is the beginning of this week's. Okay. So, I was just saying, like, when Katie confronted Sandoval about being at the Abbey with Raquel, that was an opportunity to start easing into this, like, yeah, we were hanging out and we are having a lot of fun. And he could have still, like, brushed it off, but not have been so, like, oh, you're ridiculous. Like, that reaction says way more than just being cool and being like, yeah, I like hanging out with her. Because then he could have later on been like, yeah, as you know, I started hanging out with her more and blah, blah, blah. So that tells me that Sandoval was like purposely, it was a choice for him to gaslight and be deceptive towards Katie. And I just need to point that out because I feel like it is basic behavior. Housewives and chit chat. So, see, I was just talking about Jersey. she posted, go check out her account, but apparently somebody found the cheerleading schedule for Melissa's daughter to like debunk something that she said. That is what I'm talking about when I say there's a line. That is too much. I am never going to go and find out where your children are. Like, that is crazy. Don't ever do that, please. To anybody. Anyways, also, if you're interested in my cyber attack, you can find that on my YouTube and in my podcast, actually, as well. So then we get scenes with Allie and James. We get the whole first 7 minutes, and I cannot love James Kennedy harder. Every week, it just keeps going up and up and up, and Allie, the same. I already loved Allie to begin with. And I was really scared about it because I'm like, oh, shoot, what if, like, on camera she's awful or something? But the energy that I got when I met her in person, which was my first interaction with her, I never saw her on TV at that point because it was at BravoCon. I got such good energy from her, and I was like, I'm gonna be a stan. I think she is awesome, and she's MVP of last night's episode, and I'll tell you why when we get through to it. So we got the preview. Oh, so this is BS. I got my subscription feature available on Instagram where I was going to do live smoke sessions with whoever wanted to join me. That way we could like have people who actually want to be there and not like Jack's coming in and, you know, trying to promote his podcast or whatever, which is fine. You could do that, but I wanted to have more of a one-on-one connection with people. So that opened up, and I was so excited because we had some subscribers. But then because of my Korean kimchi slap post, it got taken away already in less than a week. But I wanted to read this from Taste of Reality. This is from Dumas. It says, for Vanderpump in the reunion, Raquel admits that she and Sandoval were sleeping together in Mexico at Sheena's wedding before the Schwartz kiss. Oh my God, what? Also that Sandoval has been telling her what to say and having her stay to his to his story, but that was obvious, LOL. I will say he kind of ruined some of what he says on the reunion by already saying it on the Howie Mandel podcast. But the finale is so, with lots of O's, good. Wow. Take this with a grain of salt. I don't know if this is true. This is just like a blind item. But sometimes they do come true. I have an Amazon storefront with all my hair products if anyone's interested, because that's like the number one question I get asked. Countess Kush posted, so if the reunion premieres May 24th, we're getting close by the way, and we have 2 confirmed episodes that are post Scandoval, does that mean we only have 2 more episodes until we see Scandoval happen? And then there's Bethany internally screaming. I think like, I have a feeling the next episode, I feel like we'll find out in like 2 more episodes. Wait, there's 2 more episodes. Yeah, I think the very last finale is going to be where everything just blows up, because then they're going to go straight to the reunion after that. Oh, okay, so I've been creeped out. Like, Tom Sandoval obviously went to some like wellness resort or something, whether it's Miraval or not, we don't know for sure. Some people were saying Canyon Ranch, but there's confusing and conflicting information that I'll get to. But I don't understand why he's posting unless he's getting paid. Because this is like, if he's not getting paid, this is creepy AF. Like, why are you doing this? It feels like he's attacking us. Not to be dramatic, but I am. it feels like he's trolling us. This post is still up there. Nothing like finding a little peace in nature. Today was pure magic. This is like right after Ariana's guy was like being posted and shared, and he's like ripped and like, you know, super hot. And then Tom does this. Do you tag anyone? I can't. Oh, congratulations to Delaware. You're legal now. And Delaware always reminds me of Wayne's World when they're like, we're in Delaware. But I love to see it. I'm always going to celebrate a win. Okay, the reality bitch, bravo, love baby, new. Don't tell people how to do things, tell them what to do and let them surprise you with their results. This is from Forbes. It's also a quote from George S. Patton, U.S. Army General, and I felt that in the moment, so I posted it. I found this old video of Jax from December 2021, and it's so funny. It's still funny. He's like, I think it's a cameo that he's doing for someone, and he's like, hey, what's up? Well, first of all, I just want to let you know I smoked a fat joint, so I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry because I have a kid, and I'm tired and stressed, and it's just so funny. But go check that out on my Instagram. Ariana, Katie, Dana, Janet. I don't know if you guys know Janet. They all went to London, I guess, or the UK, and to some wedding, and Ariana just looks amazing. This is a side note. I am disappointed in Netflix for canceling Bling Empire and Bling Empire NY. NYC or NY, whatever. I didn't have time to like really get into it, but I started Googling a little bit, like, what is this I hear about Bling Empire being canceled? What the fuck? So I look it up and I'm like, I see that there's these prominent Asian celebrities or like whoever who had negative comments about the show saying it puts Asians in a negative light and yada yada, frowning down onto Bling Empire. And I just want to say that bothers me. And I am half Asian, so I'm allowed to say that. But also it bothers me because, one, we like Bling Empire because they're messy and they are somewhat relatable, even though they're completely not relatable when it comes to like financial status and like just lifestyle. So we like that. And we see like with Kevin, he's had growth on the show. We have Dorothy going to New York and starting a new journey with like a whole new set of fashion and everything. Like this, I feel this is rude to Asians. And if it is Asians who are saying like looking down on this show, then I challenge them and I would go toe to toe in a conversation and debate as to why we should not cancel Bling Empire. How many? We have no reality shows with Asians. Like, you can't cancel the only Asian reality show. And I'm sorry, it's not the only Asian reality show. We have Family Karma, which is amazing. Love, love, love Family Karma. I think it's the best Bravo show. But it's not getting the love that it deserves. It got nominated for a GLAAD Award again, I think it got nominated twice. It definitely got one nomination. Alongside Southern Hospitality, Levis show, which didn't even get a reunion, a proper reunion. So where are the priorities at? I know I'm skipping around Netflix and Bravo, but you know, we're in the same genre. So, okay, I'm going on a tangent. I need to hurry up. Still James Kennedy stan, love him. Just a reminder that Tom Sandoval dressed up as Raquel for Halloween, and he's got that white nail polish on, which really bothers me. I switched to my old school Fiji. And I have it on my Amazon store. I'm doing pink now. He better not wear Fiji. If he wears pink and starts showing it off on his stories and posts, I'm going to be legit mad. That is a confirmation that he is trolling us collectively. Okay. High Times Magazine posted the agricultural benefits of cannabis, and I urge you all to go look at this information because I truly, truly believe that there is potential for hemp to help save some of our global warming issues and the demise of our planet. Like, hemp can restore and hemp can replace raw goods or raw, what do you call it? Like precious metals or whatever. Not precious metals, but plastic. Oh my God, I'm all over the place. I have to be, okay. Skipping over stuff. Don't forget, I also was a guest on High Low Brow Pod. Go check that out. We did a recap of Dazed and Confused for their 30th anniversary. Here's another Forbes quote from Stephen King. Talent is a wonderful thing, but it won't carry a quitter. Love that. Oh my God. Tom's wearing... So I guess the lightning bolt necklace, I guess he was already wearing that before the whole thing with Raquel, but we need to keep an eye out for when, when Raquel starts wearing the lightning bolt, which we know she wore at BravoCon. So when did he give it to her? Also, Ariana, love her. So this past week, I went back into season 8 Vanderpumping. I'm still not done. It's a lot. There's like 24 episodes, 25 episodes per season. I finished season 8, but there's like a special episode with extra scenes or whatever. I'm not really that interested because it was when COVID started, and so that was like the first episode where there's like Zooms and stuff, and I just didn't. I don't like it. It's giving me PTSD. But I did want to say, like, Brett is super annoying in this show, and I'm gonna start calling out the men on these shows more because they do get away with stuff on this show, on all shows, and I'm sick of it. He called Shayna middle-aged. He was like, oh, you were trying to do this and that. Like, I just did not like that at all. Also, one thing I want to know in season 8, this is where we really see Tom Sandoval, like, who he is, I think. And I really think he is obsessed and jealous with Jax in season 8. Just go back and look. But let's see. Charlie mentioned she thinks Lala may like James even though she knows he's not right for her, which makes her jealous of Raquel, and I don't think she's wrong. Last night's episode, the way James was looking at Lala was like, yeah, I think they might be meant to be. I don't know. Oh, I love the prank that Jackson Randall pulled on Sandoval, because Sandoval TP'd Jax's house on his birthday, and the way that Jax got him back was having him pretend be arrested. And I thought it was, I remember the first time watching, I was like, this is a little bit too far. Like, I get it, but they took it too far. Because he also just went so easily. So it was like, he definitely was scared. But I also, now watching, I'm like, it's pretty funny. Sorry. I don't know what, I think this is also when Schwartz goes off on Katie and is like, because she got upset about the joke and was like, I don't think that's funny at all. Like, especially in this climate, this day and age. And I'm like, after hearing, I remember that the first time hearing that, and I was like, yeah, that was too much. And Schwartz did not like that. His desire to be like a guy's guy and go along with this prank and be like, oh, this is funny, like, don't bring the party down kind of vibe, like, that outweighed just being a partner to his wife, and it made me sick. I was disgusted. He said the most horrific things like, this is why I don't have sex with you, or whatever. Like, it was awful. And then they got married again. And I knew that happened, but I didn't know that it was at Caesars, and that's where BravoCon is. So I wonder if they'll make that like an interactive spot at BravoCon. I hope they do. Please. One thing I've been doing since Scandoval started is I've been really nurturing my bedroom setting because I got sick at one point during Scandoval and I just like was binging in my bed, and when I binge I watch on Peacock, which I usually would just do like a Chromecast from my phone or laptop or wherever to my TV in my room. But for some reason, my Chromecast isn't working. So I started bringing in my laptop, and now I'm like all about my feng shui and everything. So I've been putting up some stuff on my Amazon store if you're interested, including the books that I'm reading, like Chicken Soup for the Soul. Those are good. They're good. Anyways, okay. So at one point I was like, I really wish that Stassi, Katie, and Kristen kept going with it, which is a WeHo. And then people started reaching out to me. They're like, they just relaunched it, I guess, recently. So that's pretty cool. Sheena, I'm not boy crazy, but she's like, she says best friend, and like she says like key words over and over again that strengthen or like fortify the feeling that we all get behind the words. It's like, why do you keep repeating that you're not jealous over and over again? It's just funny. I still love her. Oh, I wanted to mention this. Sorry if this is embarrassing to anyone. I don't remember their handle, but someone sent me a message saying, I saw that you liked Tom Sandoval's post, the post that I just showed where he was like rock climbing or whatever. And she said, like, I felt like that meant you were disingenuous, so I'm unfollowing. And I was like, oh, like, I was like, that's interesting. Because to me, when I like things, I don't put that much weight behind it. It's usually like a way for me to know that I've seen it. And if it is something like Tom Sandoval or whatever, I obviously don't like it. But I'm also not going to be mean to him. I don't know. It's just for me in my head. I'm like when I see stuff, just so that I know that I've seen it. It's like my way of indicating read or unread. But yeah, I just wanted to tell people that because I don't want people thinking like if they see that I like something that automatically means like, oh, I really highly encourage this. Like, that's not what that means. Okay, I'm gonna move on. James Kennedy on Watch What Happens Live. When I found that out, I was so excited. My freaking subscriber-only smoke stash got messed up. My privileges are coming back on May 3rd. I'm going to make it up to you guys. I'm going to do 2 sessions next week. Okay, so Reality Sucks podcast posted something. It looks like it's from Dumas. Tom Sandoval spotted at Canyon Ranch. He is solo and will talk to anyone who wants to talk with him. My friend and I were here and asked for a pic for the girlies, Team Ariana. And he was hesitant at first, but then he said, fine, tell the world I am not here with Raquel. However, I was in the spa the following day and overheard someone by the name of Raquel being called for a treatment and was a no-show. Eye emojis. Coincidence? Oh my gosh. Nightmares. Okay. National Normal is talking about how pre-employment drug screening is not now, nor has it ever been an evidence-based policy. I would never test an employee for THC. Just FYI. Oh, Pump Rules posted, this is from Daily Mail, and Ariana put it in her stories. Lisa Vanderpump and Ariana Madix will join DailyMail.com at the annual White House Correspondents Association dinner as honored guests. Woo! We did it, Joe! Our girl, Ariana. Hell to the yeah. I love this. Death by Reality posted some old pics of Ariana from her yearbook, I think. I didn't even really recognize her. I feel like she looks so different. Okay, I gotta skip through some of this. Who knew Gretchen and Shayna were friends? I didn't know that. Thought that was funny. So this is from High Times magazine. Australian cannabis activists protest THC ban for drivers. Good job, Australia. I know I have some Aussies listening, and I wanted to find out who is in Australia, because someday I'm going to put it on a vision board of me going to Australia to do a show, meet my Australian buddies and besties, and also hug a koala. We're going to do it someday. Ariana's so cute. Oh my God. Dana and Max in season 8 were so over the top with their 1 week relationship. It was too much for a first season. Like, you could have eased up a little bit on that. It was a good love triangle, but it was just like too much. I didn't like it. I love this scene. So Jax and Brittany are having a pool party, and everyone's like getting mad at Jax because he's like rage texting people. Like, Max invited everyone to the beach, and he's like, "That's such a stupid idea. You're ruining the environment by going to the beach. It's like whatever, with how many cars and la la la." And so he's like, "You're not invited to my pool party." He started uninviting everyone. So then Tom Sandoval was like, "Should I just have my own party?" And so they do, and like everyone goes to their party, and Brittany's so pissed. She comes in to the house from work, and she's like, Jax, they're having a party too. And he's like, what? He's like, let them, whatever. He's like, Tom Sandoval is such a little, and he starts imitating him, pretending he has a phone. He's like, oh, look what Jax did. He's such a little girl, or I don't know, whatever. Jax didn't say the best things, but it was so funny. Oh, another reminder of my jail sentence in Instagram. Bummer. Okay. Puberty said that Americans now spend more money on legal cannabis than they do on chocolate. I am loving that. Thank you, Cece Loves You, for sending that over. Face Reality has more clips. The Scandoval content is kind of drying out, so we need more of that coming, guys. I Live for Bravo, love it. So I tried to go on TikTok live for the first time. I'm like, wow, I have like over 7,000 followers over here, and I've never gone live or anything, and I don't really post like videos of myself over there. It's mostly like my like Bravo videos. So I go live while I was like smoking to tell them to go to Instagram to come over for our smoke sessions, and I got friggin' kicked off. So I'm just like, I can't, whatever. I'm so sick of this. Taste of Reality reposted a TikTok that shows a transition from Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, to Vanderpump Rules, and I have to say, watching it back was pretty epic. So go check that out. Us Weekly posted that Travis Barker has a enema kit, which I didn't realize has coffee in it as well. And I know I've heard coffee enemas before, but I didn't realize this one was with coffee. So that's interesting, and it just made me think of like catheters because I like a catheter. If you've had a bunch of kids, you might love a catheter. So Rate My Bravo posted a clip from Jax and Brittany's podcast where Jax said that him and Tom have the same manager and that Tom has been making his own decisions, quote unquote, own decisions recently. So I don't know what that means, but Bravo finally released the Orange County trailer, and I don't know, it didn't really snap me out of Scandoval, although I did love Vicky at the end, like with the roar. She's good for that. And yeah, I'm going to skip through some of these. Faces by Bravo. Oh, this is just as a reminder, we have our live pre-show on Patreon. Okay, Coca Macoca reposted Tom Sandoval's story where he's like promoting some lighting equipment, saying that he's going on another tour or something and upgrading their production. And I'm just like, I don't get it. What about like all the things the other stuff that you're supposed to be doing? It just is weird. Taste of Reality reposted Shayna's story where she says, it's a wrap when you have to take your clothes home from the studio. And then I started thinking like, wait, what? I understand why they're keeping their clothes because may need to like reshoot things or whatever, and they need like continuity. But I was like, who pays for it? Because it would feel weird for someone to be like, give me your clothes, I'm gonna hold on to them. But I guess that's how it works. I don't know. And then Shayna, I was thinking like, does she go out and buy these clothes or like, no? And someone's like, no, she probably has a stylist. I get that. I was like, so are these clothes hers or are they like rented? Like, what is going on here? It just had so many questions that came out of that. That just cracked me up. Pump Rules, we got Charlie posting a video from the reunion. Then we get the Tom Sandoval TMZ video, and I have to, like, I'm trying to dodge the whole, like, where is Raquel thing. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know at this point. I don't think anyone's asking, are they? I don't know, but in this TMZ, drinking my spin drift, by the way. In this TMZ video, one of the first things he does is he's like yelling at Josh, who we know he's like working with Josh. So why are you like pretending to be mad at Josh when he's just asking the questions? He's like, she's in a mental facility. And I just have to say, whether she is or not, it bothered me that he was yelling that over and over. It just felt like, I don't know, it felt gross for some reason. I'm like, why is he speaking on that? And then Josh was like, okay, so you guys are like celebrities. And the smile he had was concerning. I was like, ugh. But then Josh quickly brought him down to earth when he's like, what do you think about Ariana going to the White House Correspondents dinner? And he says, the textbook, media training, whatever answer. I'm happy for her. I'm really happy, blah, 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 whatever. Sure, dude. Going back to season 8, I forgot that James's mom had a double mastectomy, and seeing her on Watch What Happens Live last night, like, she does look so much better than when we saw her when she was drinking. That was like, I was terrified. I think I still am terrified of James Kennedy's mom, but there's something just, obviously I love James Kennedy and there's something so endearing about him. So I like want to believe that his mom is in like a really good place right now. And she looked good last night. But it's heartbreaking when you really look at James Kennedy's story, his life. Like, I get why he does the things he does. I'm not saying they're right, but I mean, nobody's perfect and we all become unhinged, right? The only thing fake, Pump Rules. Okay, so we get to Vanderpump Rules Day. This is yesterday. Dude, and Scandoval gave me my period again. What the fuck, dude? I blame Tom. Which reminded me, remember when Tom made Miami Girl go in the bathroom and prove that she had her period? And then he still had sex with her? Yeah. We need to readdress some of these things. Rate My Bravo posted James Kennedy's live. He was in New York City with using his southern accent. I just love when he does fake accents. The reality, bitch. Why are you so quiet? What's on your mind? It's James Kennedy singing Scandoval Survival. Oops. Blackpink. Shout out to Stone Fine Jewelry. Oh, so on Rate My Bravo, she posted a clip of Give Them Lala's podcast, and Lala was saying how somebody, I think her co-host or whatever, asked her how Ariana was doing, and she's like, she's doing amazing, and I just love to hear it. She must feel so good, like just getting that out of her life. But then yesterday is when I got the notification that I was like reported, and all my like cool new features got taken away until May 3rd. So I feel like it's Tom Sandoval. And one would say that, I'll get to it. Hold on, I gotta read this. This is from Taste of Reality. So this is a blind to Dumas. Subject, Sandoval is at Miraval. This is so confusing. Message, Sandoval was at Miraval, Arizona. My blank is a yoga instructor there. And she said the Miraval did the social media post because Tom was fake crying on the phone and all upset and whiny because the public was finding out. So they did that post, and Tom shared it to get the word out even more as an act so people would think he wasn't there and wouldn't stalk the place or have media there. He even asked to be comped something. Raquel/Rachel was only there for a day. She's not sure if she stayed over, but she heard she was around for one day. But yeah, the whole post was done on purpose. Okay, we don't know if this is true, but if it is, that means that Tom Sandoval, if this was planned, he purposely took my screenshot. I put a side by side. It's in my Instagram. And he took my screenshot, blurred out my handle, Bravo and Blaze, but then my comment said, nice hashtag Scandoval reference, and like a smoking emoji. And he took out my handle, but pointed to my comment in his rant to Miraval saying how unprofessional they are or whatever. So I don't know what's true. I also did hear he was at Canyon Ranch, so I don't know what's real or fake anymore, but I'm on a roller coaster. So this is the post, the one about my Korean mother, that got reported saying that it's condoning violence, and I object. I object that this is condoning violence. I do not condone violence. I was just saying what would happen if I said to my mother, a B+ is good. And it's a joke. God. Anyways, Lala posted, I think this is her reunion look. She does kind of look like a robot, but I love it. And I love her song Boy. I'm like listening to it on repeat. RHOSLC Obsess post Lisa Barlow. By the way, this poppy drink, I've already gotten a few people who've reached out to me and said how much they love it. Like, it must be good. I want to try it now. Bravo did a meme challenge. So if you haven't gotten yours in yet, go get yours. Mine is Tom Sandoval Tom Sandoval haunting my nightmares. It's Vicky at the end of the trailer. Oh, so I did a poll. Do you hang out with your ex? 92% said yes. 36 people said yes. And about 35 of those people explained why in DMs to me. But whatever, it's fine. I just wanted to know. No judgment. Okay, so this is Pump Rules Bravo. They got the episode 12 description. I think it's the same description I got. No, it's different. There it says, Sandoval opens up to Schwartz about his romantic problems with Ariana. Shayna blames Katie for spreading a sordid rumor about some of their friends. Meanwhile, Ariana suffers another big loss. James plans an epic beach day that takes a turn for the worse. More from Lala's podcast. What they also did not show or say. Oh, so Lala was saying on her podcast that she actually, that at her birthday when Raquel showed up and they were talking outside and she's like, don't let anyone tell you you're a mistress or whatever. She said that she told Raquel, they didn't include this part, but she said to Raquel, you need to make things right with Katie because that is not okay. Then we have, oh my God, James Kennedy with Andy Cohen before Watch What Happens Live. And I believe this was pre-recorded, but I don't care. I just freaking love James so much. This video, he kisses Andy. He has like a little giggle. He's just, oh my gosh. I love James. Also, doing little reels. Okay, Lala, this is from Pump Rules fans, who's an Aussie, and says Lala, it's like a TikTok from Kyle and Jackie saying, or it's Lala on a radio show with an Australian, and they're describing Sandoval, and I forgot the word they use, flog or something. And he's like, basically a wanker. And she's like, yeah, wanker. And I just loved it. So now I'm getting into never before scenes. I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I'm going to go to my slides. Okay, this first never before scene, honestly, all I could think about, this is after Schwartz finally sticks up for himself and like calls Sandoval out for his poor work ethic, getting his nails done, going to band practice or whatever. He's all pissed off. Lisa's like, you should leave. And he's like, no. And then he comes in and acts like everything's okay. And Schwartz, of course, is the wussy pussy that he is. And he backtracks and says like, oh, I love you and whatever. And all I could think is like freaking enablers, wussy pussies, both of them. Lisa tried to kick him out. It's pretty awesome. But, they're awful. Anyways, the next never before scene, we see Tom and Ariana when they're talking about the fertilization of her eggs and creating embryos. She's reminding him that he needs to quit drinking for like 7 days. And he's like, all right, tonight will be my last night. And she's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean you go on a bender, like get wasted. And she kept saying, that's gross. That's gross. Gross. And I agree, especially when she's like, these are my eggs that you're about to fertilize. Like, I don't want your messed up sperm or whatever. And it just feels like this is an opportunity where he could have pumped the brakes instead of being like, yeah, let me get my sperm checked and everything, especially since we know he's already sleeping with Raquel at this point. So then the next scene, also, wait, let me go back. So also in this scene, he says he's not going to drink or whatever for like 5 or 7 days. But then on Howie's podcast, he said he was 4 days sober. It's the first time he's ever gone that long without alcohol. So he's either lying on Howie or he's lying to Ariana. But either way, he's lying. And the third never before scene is them at the Classic Cat for Lala's birthday party. And James starts asking about them, like with their, fertility and all that stuff. And Ariana's like explaining how it works and everything. And again, I'm just like, you let this happen. You're telling other people that you guys are doing this, and yet you're sleeping with Raquel. It's crazy. MVP, Allie, I love her. The fourth never before scene is the cutest thing because she's like, Satchel goes up to Katie. The two mops making out or whatever. Allie's like, you guys are so cute. She's like, I told James that I need him to get a perm. And right away, I'm like, oh my God, I freaking love her. And then she's like having this like meet cute with Katie. I just love it. I love all of it. I'm here for Allie. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So now I am going to share the screenshots from last night's episode. I have a lot, so I'm gonna scroll through them as fast as I can because I still have to pee really bad. Okay, add to stream. Here we go. This is the juicer I was talking about. It's available at my Amazon store. Okay, so we see. Oh my God, Allie's so cute. James is like, what are we gonna do today? Everyone's hungover from Lala's birthday, and she's like, die. It was very like Wednesday Addams kind of feeling vibe or whatever. Like, I loved it. She's so cute. Katie's drinking hair of the dog. She's like, don't judge me. Talking about Raquel coming the night before with Lala, who shows up in her Bret Michaels outfit. And they start talking about how Katie confronted Sandoval about Allie seeing Raquel and Tom at the Abbey at 1 a.m. And so Katie and Lala are like saying, oh, that's weird. Who saw them, Allie? And look at Lala's face. That, okay. Rat Michaels. Love it. The next scene, we see Tom and Tom go to a food truck, which I find it very interesting that Tom Schwartz was saying something very practical and logical, like maybe we should have got a food truck and started there. It's much smaller and self-contained. And yeah, maybe you should have because you guys are a mess, disaster, wasters of money. But I love this weed fund thing here we got here for the tip jar. So this scene... Oh, and I just find it funny that Tom's talking about this very practical business decision, like, oh, maybe we should have just done a food truck. And of course, Sandoval says nothing, like, completely void. Like, oh, yeah, maybe we should have, or anything. Acknowledge him. But anyway, so they're having their discussion about Raquel. He's like, did you hook up with her? He's like, no. And then Schwartz is like, I think she likes somebody or has a crush on somebody else. Like, open your eyes, Schwartz. I can't with them. I didn't even read the episode description. I forgot, but I'm going to keep going. He's just, again, another opportunity to come clean or set the stage for, like, what is going to come. Don't start planting seeds of Ariana being the bad guy. No. No, that's not what you do, Tom Sandoval, okay? And he's talking about their eggs, and he's just like, yeah, I guess, whatever it is. And then he's like, well, I don't know, we're going to do this when we're like 50 or something. So you can see the trepidation that he has, and he has every opportunity, so many opportunities to stop this path, but he just keeps going down it, and it's so infuriating. Then he says like, oh, she thinks I'm dumb or like annoying. Well, maybe you are. Kidding. But maybe he is. And if somebody said that to me, if someone's, or made me feel that way, I would be like, maybe I need to work on myself. Unless they're completely irrational and they're like, oh, being amazing sucks or something. Then we see Sandoval saying, I don't know if, whether Ariana and I are right for each other. I'm just like infuriated. I not only love Ariana, but I work on our love. You are having sex with her friend in this scene. You're working on your love. Ew. Oh, then he like, oh, I nearly start off every single day with a dumpling latte. Like, maybe she doesn't need room service. Maybe she needs an equal partner who's going to be held accountable and is at the same level of maturity as her. Grow up. Okay. Another reason Ali Luber is MVP of last night's episode. The scene with her and James is so funny. She's like, so what does that mean? She's talking about like the Katie thing. Oh, I love this. They're like, oh, so that was weird that Raquel showed up. And she's like, I was so shocked. Like, she has balls. And I love that, not Raquel, that Ali said that. And you see here, James, he's like talking about how Raquel, the influencer, doesn't know how to Google, whatever. Like, he was married. Like, he has a wife. Like, hello. And then Allie's like, I did notice that Katie was talking to Sandoval. And James, he's funny, like, whoa, what did you say to Katie? Like, exactly, at girls' night. And Allie's like, I just told her about how we went to the Abbey and we're with a group of people and we see Raquel and Tom alone. She didn't think it was weird that Tom was at the Abbey. She obviously doesn't, this is not all in a row, by the way. I'm just taking clips. But she's talking about Katie in this part where she's like, Katie obviously doesn't trust her. But Katie was saying, she said something about them not having a lot of rules. And Allie's like, I don't know what that means or what she's implying by that. And James is guessing like, oh, maybe that means that Tom and Ariana are in an open relationship. And Allie's like, so wait, that's what you think when Katie implied no rules? She's like, I'm kind of just worried. I don't know what to do. Don't want to be involved or anything. Should I just like talk to Ariana about it? And James is like, no, that's like muddy bottle. And he's like, I would just talk to Shayna about it because that's like her best friend and she loves gossip. She'll effing love it. So then we see Ariana and Katie go check out their new place that they're officially leasing where they're going to have their sandwich shop. And I think it looks so cute already. And Ariana's so cute. She's like, we figured out how to use the AC and the power and all of that. And then we have Lisa join them. What's the plan? Tell me your vision. They're saying lots of flowers. And if you follow Katie and Ariana and something about her, you'll see like, I think they scored their like dream designer for the look of their shop. And I'm so excited for them because I think they're going to make it look so amazing. They have like an outside nook area and an inside nook area by the window. She's like, they want to make it feel very cozy and inviting. I love it. I love it. Then they start talking about Raquel. Ariana's like, it was a good time. And then Raquel showed up. And then you have like Katie rolling her eyes. Then you have Lisa. This was weird for me. Lisa was like sticking up for Oliver so hard and saying like, who cares if he's separated? Like, I'm sorry, but separated to me is still not divorced. And like, I understand like Katie and Tom's scenario. Like even Lala said it, like you guys are getting a divorce. But like Oliver and his wife, if one person is saying they're in a relationship, I would not go there. I would be like, okay, then is she crazy? Is that what you're saying? And then they'd probably be like, yeah, she's crazy. Okay, Okay, if she's just crazy, then come to me with your documentation once you're all done, and I don't need to talk to you till then. Bye bye. Like, that would be the best case scenario. But I wouldn't even get that far. Like, we don't need to go there. But it's just weird that Lisa's like, I know for a fact. How do you know for a fact? Because he said it to you? Like, that doesn't mean anything. She's like, I just don't like to judge anybody. And Katie's like, oh, she's a hoe. I don't like her. Lisa's like, no, you can't say she's a hoe. She was like, she's a hoe. And Katie's like, listen, I'm a hoe too. But here we go. This scene with Lala and James, this is where I feel like James may love Lala deep down inside. But I don't know. This is what I love about James. In his confessional, during the scene, he's talking about his first musical festival. He's going to be opening for Cascade. I even know who Cascade is, so, like, I know this is a big deal. And his friends should know, too. Like, Cascade is a legendary music producer, DJ, songwriter. And look at him. He says, it's a dream come true. Like, so cute. And I love how Lala's like, I like Allie. When I talk to her, there's something happening up here, unlike your ex, who's like a robot, like very Stepfordy. And then she makes a joke about James's wee being small. And it was a little awkward at first, but then she's like, I came back twice, so returning customer. And they just had a moment that I was like, oh my gosh, will you guys just get married? But this is when he brings up the Hermosa Beach party or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I'm down or whatever. She asks, can I bring the Don? He's like, absolutely. I'm not going to exclude anyone. I've always been disinvited and la la la. He said, I don't want there to be any mishap, animosity. And I like how he said, I realized that Raquel really does matter to me. And I really like that. I love when he does the accents. Oh, hi, why isn't Raquel here? Like, he didn't want to hear people. He's like, I lose either way. If I have her there, I gotta be near her. If I don't have her there, then I gotta hear everyone talk about it. So this next scene we see Sandoval is getting his jizz results. Bleh. He's so disgusting. And I'm sure he was cocky going into it, but they were like, you want the morphology or whatever, the percentage, they said you want it to be over 14%, and he came in at 6%. And his face, he just looked like, oh my God, I just got slapped. And the doctor's like, well, it could be from, clothing, drinking, or drugs. And Schwartz starts laughing. Then we see Ariana, her grandma passed away. It was very sad. That's why she wasn't there. She said she's been through a lot with Charlotte. I just kind of like want a break. Then we see Allie talking about like breaking up with people and how it's odd that this group hangs out. And then she's with Shayna, telling Shayna about the Abbey and then what Katie had said. And Shayna's face is so funny because she's like, they're two of my best friends and I think I would know about this. And she's like mad at Katie for even putting this idea out there. She's like, that's disgusting. And Allie asks, like, would you be comfortable with Raquel going to a club with Brock at 1 a.m.? And Shayna's like, Sandoval's like a big brother to Raquel. I would trust him in the same bed with her. And Shayna she's going to bat for Raquel. And it's just like, knowing what we know now is crazy. And she's like, I am telling Sandoval immediately. So then we go to the beach, awkward hugs. They're, boys playing football, whatever. Schwartz sucks. I hated this scene with Allie and Raquel because Raquel just seems like condescending to Allie. And it's like, dude, just, why are you even here? Sorry, I really have to pee right now. I don't know what to do. Okay. James, he's just so funny. So yeah, they're whatever. The Don comes to the beach. I freaking loved it. Satchel comes to the beach. Oh my God, so good. Tom Schwartz, I don't feel bad for him at all. Not 1 ounce. I don't care. This is his own fault. But it was disturbing that he's like, he introduces himself and he's like, it bothers me about my my dogs being in bed with them or whatever. That have all the sex you want, that's fine, but don't bring the dogs in the bed. Like, ugh. So Shayna approaches Sandoval. Oh my gosh, I have to pee so bad. Is there a way to pause this? Oh my gosh. Okay. So Shayna talks to Sandoval and tells him what she's hearing, and he is so gross. He's like, instead of owning up to it, he is completely deceptive. And he just flat out lies. He's like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God, the hatred towards Raquel. At the effing Abbey, we know everybody there. Like, how preposterous are you guys to even suspect that when in fact they were having an affair? And he's like, it's insulting to not just me, but Ariana as well. Raquel and I were not like dancing all close in the dark corner of like a speakeasy. A bunch of us just went to the Abbey. Two of those people happened to be Raquel and I. And she's like, we didn't use the term have an open relationship. He's like, that's the most effing ridiculous effing thing ever. But if it was true, I wanted to ask you and Brock. Again, defaults to slimy. Ugh, gross. Oh my God, I just can't. Okay, I do have to pee. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to put you guys on pause for a second. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm gonna write down this time so I can like edit it for the podcast or something. Or maybe I'll leave it in. That was pretty fast pee, just saying. Nothing more relatable than a bathroom break. Did you guys hear me pee? Oh my gosh, whatever. I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so here, we're back on the beach. And this is such a weird group already. We got Peter Madrigal sitting next to Schwartz, who's sitting next to Raquel at James's beach party. And he's saying like, James, you want some tequila? And he's like, no, I only have tequila if I'm like in Mexico or whatever. And he's like, oh, I thought you were going to say you're performing as a DJ in Mexico. And he said, no. And he's like, actually, next week is Imagine, bro, opening for Cascade at the pool party. This is a big deal. He's like, yeah, it's tight. And he goes, bigger than Rochella? Schwartz. Okay, so I kind of do think Schwartz said this as a way to, like, not be awkward, even though it made it, like, way worse than being awkward. But I do like that James stood up for himself. He may have taken it a little too far, but I feel like they do belittle him. And even, what's her name? Tinks? Last night I watched Robin's Live. She said the same thing. Like, they try to, like, bring him down sometimes, especially in this moment. He even said, like, this is huge. This is big. And I know this about James. We all know how much James wants this. He's like, I'm going to do big things one day. I'm going to be at Coachella. And like, I want that for him. Like, so it makes me think Schwartz is just a jealous bitch or something. Like, he's just, why say that to James? Like, be nice to James. I'd be like, James, that's fucking awesome, dude. I'm so happy for you. I think that's amazing. I would maybe cry if I was with him because we all see how much James wants that. That is like his passion, what brings him to life. And for Schwartz to just, piss on that just feels gross. It's like, it's a bad joke. And he's like, oh, let's remind you of the darkest time that you went through last year. And let's put that in the same sentence as the happiest thing that you've worked hard on your entire life to get to, right? And it's like, what effing demented piece of beep would say something like that? I agree. He's like, shut the F up. You're not hyped for me, bro. What's this? Oh, he's like, why don't you take a look at your own effing life? I love when he says he said it about Lala to Allie during Shayna's wedding. He's like, look at your own life. And Raquel's like, what's wrong with Schwartz's life? He goes, this guy doesn't open up his effing shithole bar in fucking Poop Hole Village. Oh my gosh. Oh, and he's like talking about how hard he's worked to get, what he's had. And he's like, and you're like, oh, is this nearly as big as Rochella? It's not funny. And a joke about my old proposal here at the beach that I've like gotten everyone together. I love how Lala, Satchel, the Don, they're all like looking over like, what's happening? So go make another effing joke, and he splashes the drink on Tom Schwartz. I'm like hot right now. He goes, you hurt my feelings every time I effing see you. That broke my heart. What was your proposal again? Oh yeah, you did it at the effing Rock Riley's in an effing bar on Sunset. Fuck off, mate. Katie's like, oh, Jesus. This is so fun. Let's go see the water. Charlie and Allie go over to the water. Oh, and then Tom Schwartz, he like bucked up a little bit. And he's like, don't ever do, when James was like starting to cool off, he's like, don't ever do that again. And James comes back, he's like, what are you going to do? He's like, it's not going to be effing good. And he's like, it's not going to be effing good for you. And he's like, what are you going to do to me? You can't, he said something like, I'm stronger than you or whatever. And then he's like, why do you keep making funny jokes? Don't ever effing throw a drink on me. He goes, I'll put you in an effing headlock. He goes, yeah, good, go on. Let's see it, fat boy. I do not condone fat shaming either. James has something in him that makes him like hate being fat. I don't know what it is, but I feel bad for him that he like that's his go-to. He's like, put me in a headlock. I'll get out of it in 2 seconds. You're not effing faster, stronger than me. Wait till you see the crowd I'm in front of. And then we got Allie, in her confessional, like, everything he tells me is that he's moved on and he loves me, doesn't have feelings for her anymore. But then it's hard to believe that, based on his actions or whatever. And she's like, and that's fine. Just like, don't have a girlfriend if you're not over it. And I totally agree with her. Why do guys do this? This is a common thing I've seen with straight men. Like, the ones who do fall in love, they still, like, instead of trying to, like, better themselves to be good enough for the person they love, they just settle for, like, anything, and they're like, they don't ever truly love that person. It's just like, oh my God, you're just looking for a hole for your dick. All right, moving on. Oh, Tom Sandoval chimes in. James, why are you so insecure about that? Don't be that way. Because right before this, James was like, and you're best friends with her at my party. Or whatever. And Tom Sandoval's like, oh, why are you insecure? He's like, I'm comparing it to my stupid engagement. The most stupid proposal I ever thought of in my life. And I think Raquel really got bothered by him saying that because she's like, it wasn't a stupid engagement, which it wasn't. But I kind of love that James is saying it was stupid because he's like, I wish I could take it back. I wish I could take it all back. Oh my God. Schwartz, of course, double downs. I thought it was funny. I stand by my joke. And I love when Lala jumps in. She's like, because the two of you act a damn fool at the wedding, yes, Lala, have James's back and call him out. She's like, I don't think you would like it if, that'd be like you, or I don't think Ariana would like it if you were banking out with like Christina Kelly. And Sandoval is like, I think if me and Ariana broke up, I would be like, Ariana, make out with whoever, make out with Schwartz. And then Lala calls him out again, mentioning how, she goes, you were bumping peepees with Ariana while you were still with Kristen. And then Sandoval brings up James and Kristen. So this I thought was important because I said this before. There is underlying beef between Sandoval and James. Because don't forget, James was introduced to the group by Sandoval. He was going to live with Sandoval, but then he started hooking up with Kristen, and that changed the course of their friendship. And I think Sandoval has been butthurt about it ever since, because he even said, like, they were having sex in my bed using my condoms. Oh my gosh. I've actually known Kristen longer. On my bed with my condoms. And then James is like, that was like 10 years ago. And he goes, exactly. What the hell does that mean exactly? He goes, I invited everyone to a beach day for a nice effing day. I don't even give a shit if they're effing together. But he's not going to sit here and make these stupid jokes. And Schwartz's like, this is a bad joke. My bad. I didn't mean it. And right away, I thought this was so funny because James just automatically is like, oh, it's cool. Okay, so I'm sorry. Or, like, I don't know. He basically was like brushing off him throwing a drink in Schwartz's face. He's like, okay, so we're cool then? And Schwartz admits, I was just trying to escape my own awkwardness. I agree with that. But Schwartz mentions, he's like, him and Raquel, talking about James, their breakup is still pretty fresh. And yeah, I think that everyone's being insensitive to James. I love James. I love this with Lala. She goes, let's go, the Dawn. It's so funny. Another MVP moment from Allie Luber. She calls James out. She goes, the way you acted was a joke. Like, he was trying to rationalize his behavior or whatever. And she's like, the way you acted was a joke. So MVP right there. You go, girl. Lala, Katie, the Don, and them, they try to escape everyone. She goes, we didn't expect everyone to follow because they texted Christina Kelly, who told everyone. She goes, I mean, we left the beach to escape them. Then you see Tom Schwartz be so weird, and he's like, hey, what's up, to Satchel or whatever. And he's like, hey, Katie, it doesn't have to be awkward. She's like, I already told you I don't fuck with you anymore. And I loved it. I loved it. So good. And when she shut him down, Schwartz, he's such a little bitch boy. He's like, I'm so happy I'm not with her. I'm so happy I'm not with Katie. Nobody asked. Who are you trying to convince? Yourself? Okay, moving on. And she's like, this isn't like some kind of like revenge or payback. And I agree with, I am Team Katie here. She said, I'm just living my life now the way I want to live. Good for you, girl. This was awkward. Schwartz, Raquel, and James. Schwartz is like, let's do a shot. Let's us three do a shot. He's like, I want to apologize to you, James. Raquel leaves. Rightfully, he's like, I don't want to talk in front of Raquel. And she leaves, and good. He's like, there's nothing really to do with Raquel. He said, I would honestly just be genuinely happy for me instead of, throwing these low blow digs in my face. This is when James started crying. Nothing about it is funny. It's actually unfunny. It's actually humongous for me. And this is why I ride for James. He is being very clear, Schwartz. Schwartz is the problem. People communicate with him very clearly, and he doesn't want to listen. It's a big deal for James. Why are you doing this? Why don't you get it, at least? Ugh. This is when James starts crying. Like in one little sentence that Schwartz had to say it. I finally have something good going. I'm finally I'm happy. Like, I've got Imagine Festival coming up. And you're just going to throw this in my face now? I love James. So then Lala comes up. This is when it takes a turn. So this was a good episode last night. He's like, oh, I made a cheap joke, and it was a little callous. Still, not just taking accountability and being like, James, I'm sorry. I didn't realize, I'm realizing how big of a deal this is to you, and now I feel really bad that I said that, because that's the last thing I want to do is bring you down when you're achieving, success and you're doing what you love. He could have said that. Instead, he's like, oh, it was just a little callous, undermining or whatever. Ugh, it's just annoying. And then I love James in this moment. He's like, back me up. And she's like, yes, I agree with you. And he's like, yeah, so we're even or whatever. And she's like, no, you're so far from even. You need a effing fist in your face, bro. And James starts I love it. His chin goes up and he's like, mm-hmm. And then that's when, Lala, she acknowledges, I resent him for hanging out with Randall Emmett, kissing Raquel when Katie made it quite clear. I see right through his little, I'm a basset hound. I'm nervous fingers in my mouth, can't talk. F you, dog, she says. Oh my God, so funny. That's when Schwartz, this is when it gets gross from Schwartz. He goes, Lala, you're the personification of a sponsored post. First of all, what's wrong with that? Goals. 2, you are the corniest human being in this whole entire place. Subjective. What next, Schwartz? Give them Lala. Who the F is Lala? Oh my God, this made me so mad. I am 1,000 times the human being you will ever be. Lies, says who? Go get some more Botox and plastic surgery. What is wrong with Schwartz? Seriously. I don't care if she just smacked you or I don't know. That's not a good example. I was going to say killed your dog, but that's really harsh too. But I don't care. You don't talk. Why is he talking to her like that? Why does he think that's okay? And you could see how it just started spewing out. That to me makes me feel like that's who Schwartz really is. And it's disturbing and gross. He's like, you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. Really? Sounds like projection. And I love how Lala went back to, she followed him. She goes, let me break something down for you real effing quick. He goes, I don't care. I don't like you. She goes, you're broke. You're broke. He's like, I don't like you. You're corny. You're an effing loser. He's going, you're corny. You're 40 years old. Look at yourself. Oh, I don't want to know you. And you're the epitome. Oh my God. He says, you're a bootleg housewife. She goes, of a effing loser. The shit that I've been through in 1 year, bro, it would put you in your effing grave. Don't you effing dare come for my business. That shit pays for my daughter every single effing day. How dare you? Then out of nowhere, he's like, you're a great mom. Like, what is wrong with Schwartz? He is like, he needs to be studied. Something is not right there. She's like, you're a piece of shit. He's like, you're a great mom. My God. Lala, come back. What is wrong with him? Lala, come back? So then he's like, oh no, something ever since she texted me. Bro, I read the text. She didn't say anything that wasn't like, she's just communicating with him and he doesn't like it. That's the problem. Ugh. But you couldn't even get on your own wife's team. How could I expect you to be on mine? That's true, Schwartz. If you're mad about it, maybe that's a you problem. She's like, Lala goes up to Katie, your ex is so effing out of line. Then Sandoval comes to Schwartz's rescue and, so annoying. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but I could watch James Kennedy get something in his eye all day. The way he screamed and yelled, I was like, oh my God. Poor James. But this is another MVP moment for Allie because James is freaking out over his eye. Rightfully so. It was 151, I guess. I don't know. Anytime you get something in your eye, like, I'm going to feel bad for you, right? But she's just like, what was that? And she asks the waitress who's like, oh, it's just decor or whatever. She's like, oh, I knew it. And she's complaining about James. He's like, oh, I can't feel under my eye. And he goes, it's effing the most painful thing. He's like, well, I guess I kind of deserve it. Karma's a bitch. Because he threw the drink on Sandoval's face. And he comes back with, like, a lot of energy. And he's like, 151 in the middle. And she's like, no. She said it's decor. He goes, I'm not a pussy. Lala's laughing. Oh, my gosh. I love this. But here's MVP moment. While she's eating, I love that she's eating. She's like, nobody wants to watch you make a fool of yourself. Bottom line, no one is enjoying it. Sit and shut up. Oh, she's got a sandwich in her hand. That is a boss. I love her. Oh my God. So then they get into this whole thing. Raquel's talking about like, oh, Katie, you call me a whore or whatever. And start talking about mistresses and stuff. And Lala's talking about the difference between like knowingly being like a mistress and like having a guy just lie to you. Like there's a difference. And James is like, I'm out of here. I love this about James. He knows when to exit. It's so good. Raquel's like, I don't think, you're considering me a whore or whatever. And then Sandoval comes in and starts going in on Katie for Raquel's defense. So annoying. And he throws Ariana in. I bet he was lying. I want to know for sure, was Ariana not happy at Katie in this moment? Or did he just make that up? Because he's like, she's not very happy with you. And then he brings up him and Raquel being together at the Abbey. The boldness, the audacity of this man to just try to turn everything around, it makes me insane. And he's like, oh, we're having, it's not like a secret rendezvous. Like, it literally was a secret rendezvous. So, shut up. And then the producer, I wonder if this is producer Jeremiah, the showrunner, who Sandoval told, whatever, we don't know what he said, but he told him something to hold him accountable. The producer says, has anything physical ever happened between you and Raquel? And he's got this creepy ass smile. Nothing has happened between Raquel and I. Like, nothing. Like, that wouldn't happen between me and Katie. Ugh, I just hated all of it and his stupid white nail polish. But then Allie's talking to Katie, and they're like just trying to rehash, like, wait, what did I say? What did you say? They're like trying to interpret how did this get lost in translation? I find it interesting. Look at this scene. After Tom is talking about him and Raquel at the Abbey, I find it interesting that she's like, no one wants to own up to it. It almost feels like she means Tom doesn't want to own up to hooking up with her. Like, is she mad in this moment? Like, why don't you just tell them what is going on? But I love how Katie's like, if they have an open relationship, Ariana knows nothing about it. And which is true, because she tweeted in December, I am not that cool. I am not in an open relationship. And Sandoval, he just keeps going. And he's like, you don't ever take accountability, Katie. And Katie nailed it right on the head. She said, whenever Sandoval has any heat or pressure applied to him, this is like his go-to to just turn around and deflect and start saying like, oh, well, what about you? Oh, you're perfect. I'm guessing, I don't know. You're never accountable for anything. And she said, it's just very manipulative. Yes, it is. Thank you, Katie. Tom goes, you shouldn't be with somebody for who you want them to be. You should be with somebody for who they are. And he gets up, he's like, and that's that, or something so stupid. But Katie was so good. She's like, you're so profound. You should be a philosopher. He goes, yeah, and you should write that down. Oh, should I, Tom Sandoval? I will write that down. That you were gaslighting everybody in this scene and straight up lying. So profound. Okay, so now we're in next week's episode. So we see they're going glamping. This is disturbing. I think in the car it was like Ariana, Raquel, and the Toms. And it just, I don't know. But I think it was Schwartz who said, I don't want to like kill the vibe, but Raquel has a type. Brock, Tom, be careful tonight. And even Ariana laughed at it. And, they're like, men that are taken are Raquel's type. And then we see Ken spilling the tea to Lisa in front of Katie and says, I can't believe it. The Tom Sandoval had Raquel over when Ariana's away. And she slept over. And then you see Lala with, who was she with? Oh, it was with James, I think. And she's like, I think Sandoval has a thing for Raquel. And James like, whatever. And Lala's like, I've never seen him be like this with anyone except for Ariana when he was with Kristen. Yikes. Yikes. I'm sorry you have to see all these things. Okay, so I'm going to go into Watch What Happens Live. So much going on. Okay, so last night on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, we had Tinks and James Kennedy. Tinks, I didn't know who she was. I guess she's like on TikTok. And she just released a book called The Shift. I don't know. I started Googling her. She has like 1.5 million followers or something. And just from that, she's worth like $1 to $2 million. So that was pretty cool. But, okay. So I wrote overreacted ? No. I don't know what that's for, but oh, I love how James last night, he was like, just so you know. Oh, Andy asked if he overreacted to Schwartz's joke, and he said, basically, he didn't say yes or no, but basically he doesn't think he overreacted. And he said he even poured out half the beer first before he threw it on him. So he was being a gentleman. Andy asked what was his initial reaction when he found out about Tom and Raquel. James said he was shocked. Andy asked James, was Raquel, did you ever what was Raquel's relationship with Sandoval, and he just said Raquel was always a fan, always a fan, always a fan. And he never suspected anything. James didn't think it was suspect after Allie mentioned that Abby, or I don't know if James was there too, but whatever. Andy asked, you feel bad for Schwartz? James said no. Andy asked about the Brock rumor, and James was like, can I throw up any more? He's like, if that was true, oh my God, like, I'd have to go to a health spa or something. I love James Kennedy. Oh my God. With that little slight dig towards Sandoval and his little charades with Miraval and Canyon Ranch. So then Andy asked about Howie, if he saw the Howie interview, and he said it was painful, rock bottom. Even the darkness of it, he was like in a cave and still like smoking cigarettes. He was too much. And James last night, like he didn't seem like the James that I met at BravoCon. He seemed more amped up. And I don't want to speculate on anything, but I still love James Kennedy. So then he says, oh, did he suspect anything during the Richella thing? And he said, no, I didn't think anything was suspicious or whatever. Andy asked James, do you think Tom cheated on Ariana before Raquel? And he's like, well, we know for a fact he did, which makes me believe that they confirm it on the reunion. And he asked, does anything stick out to you as you're rewatching? And he's like, yeah, everything. It's like, hello. Same. I'm like, dude, this is wild. And yes, do you think the mob mentality against Raquel and Tom is too much? And James like, listen, there's mobs these days. But one point that I really like that James said is, he goes, if you do something outrageous, expect people to be outraged. And I agree with that. Like, this is a grown adult who gets paid to share his life on television. If you want to have an affair and you don't want it to be known, I would suggest either stop being on TV or don't have an affair. That's just how this world works. And I'm sorry, but you did do something egregious to all of us, Tom Sandoval, and I am still disturbed and still hurt. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. And like I said, I don't think that we should ever be attacking anyone. Like, that's too much. But also said he's too busy to have empathy for Raquel. Oh, and he asked, do you think they will last? And he goes, you know what? In a weird way, I kind of hope they do. And he goes, imagine all the truth. I was like saying the same thing. I'm like, they better get married and die with their hands holding tight next to each other, because this cannot be for nothing. If they don't last, this is a true tragedy. True tragedy. At least the guy that I dated for 3 years when I was in my 20s, he cheated on me and married that girl. So it feels a little bit better. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But Andy asked, like, he asked, what's the most despicable thing? He's like, the whole thing. When Tom's saying, like, Raquel, like, it's just crazy. And he's like, are you, he gave the rundown of, like, the phone calls that happened. I guess James called Shayna right away and was like, how could you do this to Ariana? And she's like, oh no, that bitch is dead to me. And he said he called Schwartz, and Schwartz was like a lost puppy, saying like, oh, I really would like to talk about this in person or whatever. And I guess Lala texted James an apology, and I don't know. It's a lot going on. But one other thing, he was asking, Andy was doing a game saying, like, is James jealous? He's not jealous of anyone selling merch. His cameos are $99.99, and I want to get one. And I did get one from Allie. It's an exclusive. Go check it out. She speaks on Scandoval. This is like when it first started. They asked, "Are you jealous of Tom's band?" He's like laughing. Nobody's jealous of Tom's band. I'm sorry, but oh man, there's so much more that I didn't even get to. Don't forget, there are podcasts out there. There's the Rewatch with Jackson Brittany. There's the first 7 minutes of next week's episode is out. I don't even remember anymore because I've been preparing for this today. But Lala was on someone's podcast where she was talking about releasing some new info. I'm not really sure. I have to go check it out. But make sure you guys all check it out so that when we regroup next week, we can pick up where we left off. Let me check the comments real quick. I'm sorry I had to go pee in the middle of this show. I've never done that before. And I feel like I have to pee again already. Like, what the hell? Anyways, let's see. Hey, good morning, Serafina. Bling Empire. I'm still mad that they're canceling that. Nothing more relatable than a bathroom break. Glad to catch this on my lunch break. Yay. I'm enjoying hearing you talk while I do my chores. Aw, thank you. Tomez, 23. Did everyone else almost break their televisions after Sandoval said that? I don't know which part, but I want to break my television every time Sandoval's on it. Agreed. Can we also agree that Rachel is not a mistress? A mistress is kept. A lover is what she is. Ooh. That was good. Tomez 23. You're right. All right, well, it's time for me to go. It's been almost 2 hours. I just keep this is like getting longer and longer every week, but we're hanging in there. We got like 1 more month to go. I want to thank you all for being here. Make sure you follow, subscribe, turn on notifications so you can be updated when we go live. Again, subscribing, reviewing, sharing, liking, and or leaving a 5-star rating is incredibly appreciated and helps this show continue to grow. See you next time. On the flip side, stay lit, fam.